Next award presentations are for both the Medal of Valor and the Medal of Honor. As you have already heard from the brave accounts told this morning, the Medal of Valor is awarded to police officers who demonstrate actions above and beyond the call of duty. While both medals recognize the most distinguished acts of bravery, the Medal of Honor is the highest possible award given to a police officer who has demonstrated actions above and beyond the call of duty in the face of certain and imminent danger to life and limb. Previous recipients of the Medal of Honor are the finest examples of police officers in our Commonwealth. As I said, one of them is here today, Deputy Superintendent of the Massachusetts State Police, Frank Hughes. From the Massachusetts State Police and the Bourne Police Department, please welcome State Police Trooper Nathan R. Montero, Bourne Detective Sergeant John R. Stowe, Jr., Bourne Sergeant Wallace J. Perry IV, Bourne Officer Joshua A. Parsons, and Bourne Officer Jared P. McDonald. Early on the morning of February 5th, 2015, officers were dispatched to a large apartment complex for a motor vehicle fire before being advised that a shooting had just occurred within the complex. Upon arrival, the responding officers discovered what appeared to be improvised explosive devices scattered throughout the complex. Arriving on scene, Officer McDonald and Officer Parsons organized a tactical movement into the complex around the burning vehicle and toward the last reported sighting of the suspect. As Officer McDonald and a fellow officer crossed through the parking lot, they came under rifle fire. Officer McDonald was struck once in the back and sought cover between parked vehicles, pinned down and severely wounded. Sergeant Perry had arrived to back up the initial responding officers and had begun to organize the officers on scene. Together with Officer Parsons and other officers and state troopers, they moved towards Officer McDonald's position. Detective Sergeant Stowe and Trooper Montero had arrived on the scene as backup and began moving into the complex in an attempt to get Officer McDonald's position. After locating him, Detective Sergeant Stowe and Trooper Montero began moving him to safety, under the belief that there was a second armed suspect located somewhere nearby. They proceeded to carry Officer McDonald away from the area of the suspected shooter and through the adjoining woods. Detective Sergeant Stowe and Trooper Montero were forced to carry Officer McDonald to a waiting ambulance through waist-deep snow that had recently fallen in a historic blizzard. A short time later, the suspect moved into the roadway near where Officer McDonald had been located, and Sergeant Perry began providing cover as Officer Parsons and others advanced on the suspect and took him into custody. Upon his apprehension, several weapons and suspected explosive devices were located. Believing there was a second armed suspect, Sergeant Perry then moved to the scene of the initial shooting with others, where they discovered a deceased female victim and a second victim who had been critically wounded. Detective Sergeant Stowe returned through the snowy woods with a second ambulance crew on foot and provided cover as the other victims were evacuated. Officer McDonald was severely wounded in the incident, suffering a gunshot through his lower back that has not allowed him to return to duty. For their uncommon, heroic reactions under a potentially deadly encounter while disregarding their own safety, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is pleased to present the Trooper George L. Hanna Medal of Valor Award to Officer Joshua Parsons, Sergeant Wallace Perry IV, and Detective Sergeant John Stowe, Jr. of the Bourne Police Department, and Trooper Nathan Montero of the Massachusetts State Police. On behalf of a grateful Commonwealth, it is with deep appreciation that the highest award for policing, the Trooper George L. Hanna Medal of Honor, is presented to Officer Jared McDonald of the Bourne Police Department.